G'day. I'm JT. I'm normally joined by Donnie Elgin, former world champion Paralympian, but this week he is over in Bali, and we have technical difficulties at the best of times, but tonight there's an extra layer. Hang on, he's here, Donnie.
JT, I'm in the house.
What
In the house.
What are you wearing, mate?
It's my holiday hat. I'm on holidays, JT. So I'm excited. I'm false advertising, JT. I've got to be careful. I can't wear this out because it says Phuket, Thailand. I'm not actually in Phuket, Thailand. So we'll park that. I'm in Bali, Indonesia, JT.
Whereabouts in Bali are you, mate? For those that have been to Bali, whereabouts are you?
Well, according to me, I'm in Seminyak. According to the maps, they're saying Kuta, but if you know the Pullman, and you go all the way down the end of Beach Road, and then you sort of turn right, and then you head up there and you turn left, and you go down Seminyak Road or whatever it is, as far as you can. Just bloody keep going for ages and ages and ages, and you'll run into a street. I'm just down there in a village, AT. So we'll put some tunes on so the locals know where we're at, and hopefully they'll come and join us.
Fantastic. It wouldn't be a show if we didn't have some sound issues from someone. So, Donnie, it looks like you're it this time. Hang on, I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. I'm gonna turn you up a little maximum.
Me up, JT.
There you go. I have turned you to max, Donnie.
Me on more than one occasion, JT, especially when you do things. But let's see if we've got.
I've got you on max. Let's see if that makes a big difference. So, assuming people can hear us tonight, we've got a lot of stuff lined up, Donnie. I know you've been hard at work pulling together the episodes and segments for this show, because if there's any one person on a podcast anywhere globally that puts more work into a podcast, I'll go he, because my God, I don't know how you actually do it. And in conjunction with a full-time gig, you're overseas, and you still manage to just, I don't know, get this time out of nowhere to just make these things happen, mate. It's incredible.
Thank you,
and of course, I'm taking a piss. Donnie,
your honesty.
Donnie, why are you in Bali?
Well, I'm here for Kelly Cartwright, a friend of the GiddyUp podcast, as we know. Kel, I've managed Kel for...
Never heard of her. Who? Kel who?
Yeah, Kel Cartwright. Absolute
Kel
dead
Cartwright.
set legend. You know Kel. She's been a thorn in our side for a long time.
That one. Is that Kel? Is that
that's
Kel?
her. That's Kel.
Got it. There we go.
That
is a sneak preview for what's about to come, Donnie.
I tell you what, mate, a very, very exciting day. So what Kel will do is she'll release the photos from the day. The day has been and gone. It was, I don't know, yesterday, or I can't even remember what day it was, but it was, JT, it was a bloody fantastic wedding. I've been to a few weddings, and one of my own, I'll put that up there as one of the highlights. But my daughter's wedding, that absolutely was a highlight, and a really well-run wedding. Got that out. I didn't think I would. But seriously, Ryan, who
ran the wedding out of Don? Did they have an MC or anything, mate, or was it just like a free for all, or how did it go?
Well, we pretty much just sang around, held hands, and sang Kumbaya. No, JT, I was the MC for the wedding, and that's probably the shabbiest piece of the whole wedding. Everything else was perfect, and I took over the microphone. And oh, mate. No, we had a few laughs. The speeches were fantastic, and it was just a lot of love, JT, but a lot of Balinese love, JT. There was, I don't want to give it away because Kel will release a fair bit of footage because Kel's the Instagram guru, but there was some fire action. She looked stunning, as you'd expect. The bridesmaids were... mate, they're friends of Kel's. They were smoking hot, JT. They come up a treat. The hottest one on the day, JT, I kid you not, was little Charlie. It's Ryan and Kelly's daughter, and she is a dead ringer for Kel, and she's a cheeky little shit with the biggest smile, and absolute just... The girls, that Maxie was one of the groomsmen, that's her son, and Van's her other son, and seriously, the day was just sensational. I was fortunate, JT. I got to showcase, again, while I'm the president of Batting Above My Average. I had my beautiful first wife, Boof, on my arm, and so that was great. My good mate, Tug, who coached Kel at a Paralympics or two, he was there. So, mate, it was a bloody fantastic show. Really happy to be here. Now it's down tools. after the podcast, there's no more responsible stuff I have to do, JT. You know what that means, don't you?
Mate, it's probably drinking time, but I'm actually amazed you put this in the responsible category. There we go. The longer this show goes, the looser Donnie is going to get. I'll give you the tip.
Mate. JT, today's the first. When I knew we had the podcast, I thought to myself, shit, this will be good, because I had my first drink at about 10 this morning, and I thought, it's all right, because really that's Melbourne time, it's 12,
That's
so
true.
I'm good for
lunchtime,
and then I had a splash, and then I thought, JT, I've got some Spank over here with me, right? Everyone's favourite vodka, they can win on the big wheel, which of course we'll have a trivia question for the ages tonight.
We have got a cracking trivia question, Donnie. It is, I'm just calling it, possibly one of the best trivia questions that we have ever had on the show, with a massive twist. With a massive twist. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh,
Anyway, back to the Spank.
Not in the same vein as your dodgy ass bloody silkworm thing, what everybody knew.
No, this is going to be an absolute cracker.
Right.
And just while I think of it, Spank is actually part of tonight's dad joke.
Oh,
big.
I better listen for.
It's
listen
big.
for that. Now, JT, talking of big, I tell you, mate, I was on a plane on Sunday, right? Heading over here, just done a gig in Shep, and I rushed down to Melbourne Airport on Sunday, jumped on the plane. Unfortunately, mate, it clashed with the footy. I got no idea, JT. North and Hawks. I know we were...
Big game.
How'd we go, Joe? What's the outcome?
Well, Donnie, it's amazing that you haven't seen the score, because it's been the talk of the town, mate. That North Melbourne, mate, they are a club going places. I tell you what, and it's just a side full of young, exciting talent that are just busting to come out, and just going to be a breakaway season. And I just cannot wait for 2028 when North kick into gear and get cracking, mate, because the North that are playing at the moment, Donnie, let's just move on, because the show will be ruined already.
No, JT, let's not move on.
Mate,
let's bloody own the fact that I've had a win. Oh,
mate,
that was so bloody good, JT, to hear you say that.
That was shit, Donnie. There's no hiding it. We were shit. And there's always next week. So anyway, now, Donnie, we have got, quite literally, I'm pumped about tonight's show. We've got some cracking stuff on.
Hey, what do we got?
Including a bit of a step back in time. We've got a great story for everyone tonight that I think it's a bit of a love story, Donnie. We all love a bit of a love story.
We do love a love story.
Bit of a love story. But before we get to the love stories and the trivia question with a bit of a twist and the dad joke with a bit of a Spank mention, mate, we've got to get into some pretty fascinating stuff.
Bizarre news stories.
Donnie, just when you think the world cannot be any more bizarre, it just keeps throwing up shit. And this one is an absolute cracker. I don't even know where to even start with this, Donnie. But before I get into that, you, in all your extensive research, Donnie, came up with a story that I actually thought you were taking the piss. So I had to actually do a bit of research myself. And it turns out you're not taking the piss. Can you explain to our listeners, Donnie?
ABS, JT, if I said to you, tell me, when I say 3 words, ABS, what does that mean to you?
Oh, something about braking or something, isn't it? ABS
Automatic
brakes or something?
System or something like that. Bingo. That's what normal humans would think. JT, get your laughing gear around this. And I mean laughing gear because this is drinkable. A Belgian man was acquitted of drink driving because he suffers from ABS, JT. You know what that is?
Automatic brake syndrome?
Nope. Auto brewery syndrome, JT. A rare condition whereby the body produces alcohol. JT, he's going to put me out of a job. I shit you not. This guy here has a condition where his body creates alcohol. In another unfortunate coincidence, he also works in a brewery. But that is aside, JT. This is the Belgian media have reported it. So if the Belgian media have come out and said it, it's factual, right? And the verdict, the judge emphasised that the defendant, who was not named, for good reason, because they'll be bloody trying to bottle his blood, is a local justice that did not experience syndromes of, the same symptoms of intoxication. So clearly his body comes up with alcohol, but he doesn't get pissed, so he's sort of...
Mate, I did the science, Donny. I have dug deep, I've done the research,
right.
and I've come up with a incredibly simple diagram that explains how it works.
Yes. Bread equals bit. JT, seriously, I don't know that I could have done that any better in the distillery, in the Spank distillery. That's how it's done. But
It's actually a legit true condition, and I honestly didn't believe it, and it actually turns out it's true. So next time you get pulled over and you might have just had one or two little extra ones and you're over the limit, ABS.
And JT, we don't condone drink driving at all. So the good thing is we don't. However, if you do get pulled over and ABS, you bang on. But JT, this is not the first case of humans turning stuff into alcohol. Didn't our old mate Jay Christ have a crack at it? What did he turn? He turned
Bit of water into wine.
some water into wine. What do you goes in Johnny Walker, comes out holy water, something like that. But seriously, I thought that was bizarre, JT. And given I'm on holidays, I'll bloody drink to that. Here's to ABS.
ABS, well, you've heard it now. Now, Donny, the next bizarre story we've got, this honestly, out of all the GiddyUp bizarre stories we have tossed up over the years, this one possibly, there's been a few, this one possibly takes the cake.
Oh, no.
I don't even know where to start, but look, everyone's doing it tough at the moment. We get that. And
not politicians.
No, well, they're doing it right, aren't they, as per usual? But the rest of us, they're doing it tough. But it's not just in Australia, Donny. People all over the world are doing it tough, particularly in Brazil. Life is pretty tough over there. And, where do you go when you need money? You go to the bank, right? You go, I need a bit more coin. I've got mortgage payments to make. Got to put food on the table, all that sort of stuff. But sometimes it's hard, Donny. And sometimes it's hard. The bank's going to be a little bit, difficult. And, they say, well, have you got any guarantees and guarantors to, make sure we get our money back and all that sort of stuff. So, well, Donny, there's a I don't even know where to start. There was a lady in Brazil, a 43-year-old lady who decided it would be a pretty good idea to take her uncle into the bank to help her withdraw some money. Now, her uncle is 68, so you think, okay, that's fair enough. She's 43, taking her uncle in who's 68. And I don't think there's any problem with this story so far, Donny, but there's just one...
Are you sure this should be in bizarre stories, JT?
Well, Donny, there's just one thing that was just slightly wrong. Donny...
Go on.
Her uncle was dead. It's like Weekend at Bernie's. She has taken her dead uncle. I shit you not. She has taken her dead uncle into the bank to try and help get this loan over the line. Can you seriously? That actually is a true story.
I don't want to be laughing at stories of death, JT, because we talk about death and we take it quite serious. I mean, fuck, we're all going there. But that is bloody impressive. I want to know how much she was after. Like, what's it required to take a dead uncle? Like, is that $1,000 loan? Is that is that $100K? Like, holy crap, JT, where did you find that? That's impressive. And did she get away with it? That is the question.
No, it's fair to say she got caught, and it's all over the news everywhere. She was trying to get a loan for $17,000, which is about £2,600, which is probably about $4,000 Australian, somewhere in there. The bank clerk in one of the clips, I quote, was saying, "I don't think he's too well. He doesn't look well at all." Yeah, no, you're right. Another worker said, response? I don't think this is legal. He doesn't look too well. He's very pale. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
JT, do you know what happens when a body dies? It actually stiffens up. And so what is him, like, he was in a wheelchair, right?
Yeah. No, she put him in a wheelchair. He was dead.
Well, that's my point. That's some serious, manoeuvring to get him into that position.
It's a
good on her.
Mate, it's a pretty good effort. Well, except for the fact that she got caught and now he's all over the global media. But
because he didn't have sunnies on, he needed sunnies on. JT, I'm just doing the maths. About $4,000 an uncle. I've got 4 uncles and 3 aunties. I like 2 of them. JT, if I'm not in next week, but I've got a big fat juicy, about $20,000 loan I reckon I can get for that lot. No, I'm not going to have him whack JT, but it does make me think.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Wait.
Staggering. We lost you. We got you back. There we go. You're back. All right. Next segment, Donny, because we're just moving.
No, I'm back, JT. I'm back. I'm here all along.
We've got a lot to get through. Well, Donny, we sort of had something that you flagged. Didn't really know where to put it, but I kind of figured that you weren't going to be happy about it. So.
JT, I tell you this.
You got no idea.
This is sort of getting me.
It's a bit small.
No, this is getting me confused, right?
All right.
This is getting me confused. Now, what's getting me confused is that you're a young footballer and you go along to your club, and the day we've got, and when I say footballer, I'm talking about NRL, right? And this one's one of those ones that skirt down the mental health. So mental health's been flagged in this story. So I'm conscious to say yes, but on the GiddyUp podcast, we sometimes go, fucking suck that up. Other times we say, real issues and need some help, right? So we spoke last week about the system being broken, but this time I'm going, I reckon the tail's wagging the dog, JT. And the reason I'm calling it is, and it's not new, this is a story that's been around for a little while, but it's only come to my attention today because, I did a bit of research, right? So, last year, JT, the Daily Telegraph, so again, it's been in the media, so it's got to be true. They reported a Bulldogs player had taken mental health leave after being compelled to wrestle every member of the team's first grade squad, right? And it didn't mention this bloke. And we, for the sake of it, we probably won't either. However, what it did do is this has gone to court. JT,
it's the GiddyUp podcast. Of course we're going to mention it.
Yes. Right, what's his fucking name?
There you go.
Topine. Is it Topine?
Yeah, Jackson.
Let's just call him Jackson for short.
Jackson.
Because that's his first
Jackson.
name.
This is the man we're talking about here.
Oh,
now, it is in the media everywhere,
Jack.
so we're not breaking any news here. Trust me.
I tell you what, JT. Good. JT, I reckon he's a soft cock. And this is why. And my issue that I've got with this, JT, football clubs, they have a culture, right?
Yep.
And when you go to a club, the club culture is determined by the way things happen around there. And when you're late for training and the coach says, righto, it's wrestling training today, you're late, so now you have to go and wrestle every player, right? And they might have, that's just a legit punishment, JT. It's not like, oh no, I'm going to run off and sue the football club for mental health damages. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't walk. JT, you're a first grade bloody NRL player. You're going to exert yourself at some point. If you're late for training, there's going to be some bullshit punishment, like you're going to have to wrestle everyone on the team now. You don't then go off and cry to mum and go, oh no, I don't like the club now, I'm going to sue them for $4 million. Piss off, you toss pot. Like, seriously, guys, if you're going to go and be a professional sportsman, you got to suck it up. You've actually got to have a little bit of ticker to get you through. And just crying because you get the raw end of the deal sometimes, it's called no. For the generation that hasn't heard no, this is what it sounds like. You're no good, go home and work on it, and if you're any bloody good after all that, you might make it. But stop sooking and stop trying to sue us. JT, that's it. That's my rant.
Mate, I would love to just argue either way, but honestly, I don't really know. I heard the headline stuff as well, that's what happened. He was 8 minutes late for training or something, and he was claiming that he actually thought he was early, and there was just a mix-up with the times. But regardless of that, yeah, the coach just said, well, that's just not good enough, and got every single player to wrestle him, and it was a pretty intense wrestling session from all intents and purposes. So, yeah, he's now, from what I understand, still in the club and hasn't played a game since, has walked out on the club.
And JT, I am convinced this will not be the end of that mindset that I'm going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, I'm going to spit the dummy, and I need somebody to blame, and it won't be me. I'm not going to take any accountability or responsibility for my own poor form. I'm actually going to cry and try and blame somebody else. I say if you're one of those people, professional sport is not your place. Maybe a doll.
Oof, jeez. Okay. Now, Donnie, onto a much happier note.
What do you got?
Mate, crypto, the Bitcoin halving has happened for anyone that was excited. It's happened. It's done.
Has it happened?
And not a lot's going on in crypto yet. But it's coming. It's coming. It is coming.
Are we rich?
No, not yet. But H-Bar, we did give our listeners a bit of a tip on H-Bar in last season. Just quietly, up 90% just today.
Yes.
Just today. That's all I'm saying.
JT, we will fire the money whisperer. Now, I know you are, when it comes to crypto, you are our little creepy, crawly crypto walker. Like, you have got more moves than a bucket full of worms when it comes to crypto, and I like how you roll. Me, I've been a bit like, whatever, whack it in there and see how it goes. But I shit you not, JT, when you're talking up 90% in a day, you gave the listeners and our viewers the heads up and said there's going to be action, get on. And well, there you go. So it's halved. So what's that actually mean? Yeah, I think you've explained it.
Just the very broad, the very brief explanation, because most people just glaze over when we talk crypto, is that basically, Bitcoin has to be mined, right? It takes huge amounts of computing power to mine Bitcoins, to create Bitcoins, right? And there's a limited supply. There's only 21 million Bitcoin that can ever be produced. And so you've got all these miners all over the world that they throw huge amounts of computing power at it. And that costs a lot of money, but in return they get rewarded with Bitcoins or portions of Bitcoins. So every 4 years, roughly, there is what's called a halving, where those rewards that they get is halved, and so it makes it a bit more scarce.
So your rewards are halved, so you lose half your cash.
No, you don't lose half your cash. Your Bitcoin stays the same value, whatever it was before the halving. What is halved is the reward for mining the Bitcoin. So in theory, what it does is just getting less and less and less supply. Demand is going to go up and up and up. But for the mining it, they get less and less. So, and eventually we'll be at 21 by the year 21 something, there'll be no more Bitcoins left. But that's why it's going up. There is no more. It's not like cash where you just go, you know what, the government goes, we need a bit more cash. Let's go print some more coin. With Bitcoin, there is only 21 million. That's it.
So J2, tell me this. If you 2020 whatever, right? And you say there'll be no more Bitcoin. So if you're holding Bitcoin now, and there's going to be no more, like they're just not making any more. So your Bitcoin's worth more, right?
Correct. Yes. So
it's not going to disappear.
No, and there's a lot of people speculating that Bitcoin will go well over $1 million per coin. Right now it's, I don't know what it is today, but it's peaked at around 90,000, I think, somewhere around there. It's obviously been a lot lower than that. But a lot of people think, no, not a hassle in the world. Will it go to over $1 million a coin? So, if you sort of go, you know what? It's going to be $1 million. You can still go and get one now for 80 grand. You'd still go, that's probably a pretty good deal, right? But
true story.
But anyway,
Okay.
Good times happening ahead in crypto. So
GiddyUp, JT.
Like we always say, Donnie, do your own research. And we've also got the Money Whisperer. He's got just a short segment tonight, but it was a bit of a tip on. It was an interesting one because he's talked about crypto, but there's some other areas that people that are looking at investing in. So he just gives a little bit of an insight to that, which I like.
G'day guys, it's the Money Whisperer here. Earlier in the year I spoke about an investment app for kids, Drip, and on the back of that a few people asked, what about investing in the US market for adults so they could sort of take advantage of Meta, Tesla, Apple, Google, Amazon and those type of companies? And yes, there certainly is options to be able to invest in the US now. It used to be incredibly difficult. But through the invention of these apps, it's quite simple now. Ones like Spaceship, Stake, IBKR have made it very simple. And you can buy micro shares too, so you don't have to buy the full share. You can buy a portion of it if you want to start with a small amount. And they're easily downloadable from the App Store. So if you want to give that a go for it and good luck. See you next week. Cheers.
Short and sweet, Donny.
JT, I like when he said, see you next week. We've bloody never seen him yet.
Yeah, well, does he actually exist, this guy, or what? It's starting to wonder.
Hey, JT, do you have any idea how many people message me during the week and go, who's the whisperer? Yeah, and people have said, is it JT? Is he the money whisperer? And I go, no,
Definitely
no. Much smarter than JT, which is rare, but yes, there is. But anyway, this...
Donny,
right,
listeners, this is big. We are going to do the trivia quiz now. I want to get into it because I've got to enter it into the wheel. As you know, there's a little bit of work in putting it onto the wheel, and I've been thinking a lot about the trivia question that I should come up with tonight, Donny. And
so the trivia, JT, righto.
Yeah, so this is trivia.
Is this where we tell everyone to go and open up their second account, third account, and their child who's not born yet's account so they can enter the wheel?
Well, as everyone knows, this is your big chance to win a fantastic bottle of Spank vodka, right? These are the best vodka on the planet. You can research that. It's a fact. Best vodka on the planet, produced by yours truly, Donny Elgin. And, I think, we can't just give these things out willy-nilly, though, Don. There's an old saying for it. People are going to earn it. They're going to earn it, Donny. And I thought, well, you know what? Sometimes you hear things in life and you go, I wonder what that means, I wonder, I've heard an acronym and you go, I wonder what, hey, I love how it just magically appears. And you just wonder how these things sort of, acronyms appear and stuff. And I thought, well, tonight I'm going to go with an acronym that we've all heard of, but I reckon very few of us actually know what it stands for.
ABS?
It's not ABS, Donny, but there's one other little twist to this trivia question before we start. And I just want to say, before I put it up on the screen, everyone knows...
I don't know this, by the way.
You don't, and everyone knows the rules. Just put A, B, C, or D for the correct answer. That's all you got to do. But, Donny, I can't hog the limelight all the time. I can't. It's not fair. Right. This is a team show, Donny. It's us, you, me. We've all got our strengths that we bring and deliver. But I thought for tonight, Donny, that you should take over the trivia question. So, Donny, this trivia question is for our listeners, and all I want to say is just good luck, everyone. And here is tonight's...
I don't know this. He's stitching it up.
Here is tonight's trivia question. Remember, Donny, there's only 30 seconds. Make sure you give everyone a chance. Here we go.
I'm not... Righto. Oh, what does DNA stand for? Oh, fuck. Jeez. I hope you can see your screen because I've got stuff all chance of reading that. A, B, C or D. I'm glad we're working so well together, JT. Right, DNA. I can't even the fucking first one out. Fucking, I'm just going to have a drink. Just A, B, C or D, knock yourself out. Deoxidized. There we go. I've nearly got one. Deoxidized nucleic acid. Oh, fucking, it wasn't that one. Oh, wait. What was the question again? DNA.
What does DNA stand for? How'd you go there, Donny?
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
Yeah.
Go.
Is that right, Donny, you reckon?
Oh, fuck, I wouldn't have thought so. I would have thought it had an N in there somewhere.
Donny, you are the trivia man. I just wouldn't have to you.
I reckon you picked the wrong answer, JT, when you tried to stitch me up. I reckon you have double stitched yourself up. It's got to be either A or C, surely.
Incorrect.
It's none of them.
No, I've completely stooged everyone. The answer is not B. It is not A. It's either C or D, Donny.
Well, I'm going with C. Everyone go with C. But I've got a pretty vocal Kim on the line suggesting.
I think Kim, which has suggested D. I won't repeat the language that Kim has used either, just quietly. But the answer is actually D, Donnie. It is D. The answer was D. Can you just can you just pronounce that again for everyone, Donnie? The D, the winner.
Unfortunately, it's gone JT. So D for Don is your winner.
D for Don is absolutely the winner. I honestly had absolutely no idea, and I was just taking the piss. I thought this would be funny, and then I couldn't pronounce it either, so I was like, "Stuff it, give it to Donnie. This will be funny." But yeah,
JT, I've got an issue with this. Is because they've really stitched us up with the naming of that.
Yeah,
bloody. It's not even got an N in the.
No. Correct.
And old mate Kim, she's onto it. She said, "D pictures." She's pulling us all out. I think she was referring to you when she said that, not me. But,
too funny. Yeah. So, mate, D it is. So
who we get? So let's just give everyone. Just whack them all on the wheel, JT.
So settle down.
Wear your fingers out like mine.
Settle down. It takes, there's a bit of time going through that. So, but Donnie, anything goes on the GiddyUp podcast. So we'll get to that.
Very good, JT.
We've got
payback's a bitch, brother.
We've got a few other things to get through before we get to that. So, Donnie, now of course everyone loves a dad joke, and I thought with tonight's dad joke, I thought I would just I would just introduce a little bit of spank into the story, Donnie.
Happy and hello.
There we go. So here we go. Today's dad joke.
Dad joke of the week.
All right, Donnie, here we go. Today's a dad joke. So there's a couple of people that were driving through Adelaide, Donnie, after attending church. City of Churches in Adelaide, of course. And there was a woman and a man, and they were driving in separate cars, but unfortunately they were involved in a car accident. And Donnie, it was a bad car accident. In fact, both of their cars were just totally demolished, like complete write-off. But amazingly, Don, neither of them are hurt. Beauty, right? So after they both crawl out of their separate cars, the woman sort of comes over and the guy's there and she goes, "Oh, look at our cars. There's nothing left. They're just an absolute wreck." But thank God that we're both okay. Because this must be a sign from God that he just wanted us to meet each other. And given you're a pretty attractive man, this could be a great story to tell people at our wedding.
Yes, I see where this is going.
Yeah, so the man who also happened to find the woman quite attractive replied, "Well, I agree with you completely. This really must be a sign from God." So they're just having a bit of a chuckle and staring into each other. And then the woman just laughed because she noticed something on the ground on him. And she said, "Oh my God, look at this. It's another miracle. The car's just absolutely totaled, but there's a bottle of Spank right next to the car and it didn't break." Because those bottles of Spank, Donnie, they are solid. They just won't break.
Hallelujah.
So surely God must want us to have a few shots because this incredible Spank vodka didn't break. So we should really just celebrate our good fortune. So she grabs a bottle of Spank. She gives it to the man, and he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." Takes the cap off, and they didn't have any shot glasses lying around, obviously, because it's been a big car accident. So he just takes a couple of swigs and hands the bottle back to the woman and says, and she just goes, "Oh, thanks." And she grabs the bottle and puts the lid straight back onto the bottle and hands it back to the guy.
What?
Yeah, and the man says, "Well, aren't you having any?" And the woman replies, No, thanks. I'll just wait for the cops to arrive." Guys just fall for it every time. We're so dumb, aren't we?
I hope you got a root. The JT, that is terrible. The poor fella, he's been lured. Anyway, the good thing about Spank is you actually can write your car off and still enjoy a drink. How good's that?
Very, very true. Now, Don, by the way, Don, I'll actually read this out word for word. This is Donnie's, in our run sheet. We go through this in a lot of detail. Don puts a huge amount of work in it. This is Don's message just shortly before the show. Hey, mate, gonna need you to lead this show. I might be up to my third vodka, and I've found a mix that is to die for. So I see no good reason to stop for the sake of the show, but I will. I'm going to walk down to the street, get a massage, and pause having a drink for an hour. Donnie, did you get the massage?
I did, JT, and I'd written that about 8 shots ago. Like, seriously, about 8.
That's what I kind of figured.
JT, we're on holidays, JT. It's not a school night in Bali. They go to school at 7 to 12 or something here.
When in Rome, as they say, Donnie, I would expect nothing less. Nothing less. All right, so Donnie, I am trying to... I'm trying to carry the load as best I can because I just keep seeing more drinks keep coming in shot, Donnie. It's just one after the other. It's
a miracle, this Bali.
Oh, my God.
I can't tell you how it happens, but it does. I'm here with
Donnie,
my beautiful first wife too, JT, so she is not on camera because she's very entrenched in the bar. She is very, very talented, my beautiful wife.
She's very, very talented.
Okay, right.
Yeah, we won't talk about the...
no, there was no happy endings.
No.
There was none of that.
None of that. So, Donnie, I am trying to carry the show as best I can tonight for you. So I thought I would share everyone... I would share a pretty... I thought it was a pretty amazing story with everyone. So we're going to take a little bit of a step back in time.
Once upon a time.
Yes, once upon a time, we are going to talk about an incredible time. So, Donnie, the day is, what's the date today? The 24th of April. Well, just 10 days ago, Donnie, on April the 14th in 1912, we all know that the Titanic hit a big iceberg.
I was going to say, JT, I'm pretty sure that was the Titanic date, wasn't it?
It was the Titanic date. And, of the 2,240 passengers, more than 1,500 people died as there was just not enough lifeboats and no ships came immediately to the rescue. So I just wanted to share a little bit of a story, though, because this one just is, I think, absolutely incredible. So since there was a limitation, Donnie, on the number of people who could be saved, the priority was made to save the elite passengers first. And among them, the women and children first. Now, one of the passengers was John Jacob Astor IV. He had enough money in his bank account, Donnie. He could have built 30 Titanics. So he was very, very wealthy. However,
maybe he should have.
Faced with mortal danger, he chose what he deemed morally right, and he gave up his spot in a lifeboat to save 2 very frightened children. Good bloke, right?
Is he our hero of the week?
He should be, but the story goes even further, Donnie. So there was a millionaire, Isidore Straus. He was the co-owner of the largest American chain of department stores. You might have heard of it, Macy's. And he was also on the Titanic, travelling with his wife, Ida. Now, of course, incredibly wealthy. And his wife, being a woman, was offered a spot on the life raft.
JT, there's no guarantees that wives are women nowadays. You know. Anyway.
Yeah, well, this is back in 1912 when the world made sense. That's right.
Yep.
So when Isidore was his friend Colonel Archibald Gracie IV, who survived the Titanic sinking, he asked an officer whether Isidore, the guy that owned Macy's, could enter the lifeboat with his wife Ida. But Isidore refused to make an exception for himself, saying, "I will never enter a lifeboat before other men." So he said, "No, not doing it. Morally, don't agree with it. No." So, but his wife had a spot on the lifeboat, right? So, but his wife Ida Strauss, also refused to board the lifeboat. So she took off her fur coat, very expensive fur coat, and handed it to her maid, a newly appointed maid, Ellen Bird, and she famously said, "I will not be separated from my husband. We have lived together. We will die together."
She's just condemned him.
Holy shit, so she decided to spend her last moments of her life with her husband. And the story goes that Isidore, the guy's body, was retrieved, but they never found Ida's body. And I want to put an image up here on the screen.
Is this a warning to people? Like,
No warning. So the elderly couple you see in the bed here was from the movie. And
Wow.
it was a tribute to this couple.
How good is that?
So
JT.
the moral of the story, Donnie, is that,
Yes.
well, for me, these wealthy individuals preferred to part with their wealth and even their lives rather than compromise their moral principles. And I just wonder how many billionaires would do the same today.
JT, you made sense of that. Me, I looked at it and thought, oh, mate's getting a quickie. He's getting one last shot before it's all over. Bloody legend. But clearly, he wasn't thinking like that. He was thinking of something far more important. JT, I love it. You are, there is no one more researched when it comes to real important shit than you. And I love that.
Well, it was 100 odd years ago. I'm not sure if it was that important, but I just thought, what an amazing story and a true story. And
What I wanted to know...
Wow.
Oh, wait, is Denise Elgin saying love that because she's referring to have a quickie before you die? Yes, JT, show's over. We've got to go.
I don't know why. Buff just texted me and said, can you get Donnie just to jump in the boat that's docked at the pier? I don't know what she's trying to say. But,
She has a plan. It's not what I was thinking.
But isn't that just true
JT.
love, though? Isn't that just true? Well, two things. One, isn't that just amazing love, which is just
hell
something
yeah.
I think everyone craves for. And B, like, just the morals of people back in the day that literally put their life, their wealth, well, they're literally some of the wealthiest people on the planet. And they said, bugger that. My morals are more important than that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I love that, JT. Like, we take the piss a lot, but the truth is that is gold. And I must admit, if I was in a situation, mate, I ain't one of the wealthiest people, but I've had my run. Like, I would do what I could to help someone else, and I'm grateful. And that, JT, and it's going to be part of my final thoughts tonight when we get to that point. But the truth is, like, time waits for no one. And if it's your time, you've got choices. And if it's really a time, you don't have a choice. But in a situation like that, those people made a choice, so bloody good on them. And it wasn't just one, there's a fair bit of that. What I want to know, JT, is how you got the transcript for something that happened 100 years ago.
Well, because there was witnesses. That was all documented. That's the amazing thing about the Titanic. Some people did survive and told some pretty amazing stories of what those final moments.
JT, let me tell you about someone who survived. So we've both worked with a bloke by the name of Sean Mullane. His brother sadly, famously died, played for Collingwood. Pants was his nickname. Darren Mullane famously died after the 1990 grand final. Drink driving, hence why we don't condone drink driving. But really sad story. But the truth is, Shorts' great-grandfather was on the Titanic and survived. And the story that got passed down for generations was that the reason he survived is because he went and necked a bottle of whiskey before he goes, fuck it, if I'm going down, I'm going with a drink. And they reckon it was the alcohol that stopped him freezing, because obviously alcohol is the antifreeze. Maybe that's why Shorts drink so much piss, I don't know, but maybe that's why we like each other. But the truth is, what a bloody fascinating thing, like to be so close to something that was, obviously made history, but and few of us are ever in a situation where we're so close to, real life events that connect the whole world. So, I reckon it's fascinating. And I know, JT, that you were one of the people that bought the great big bloody the model
The big
Titanic.
Lego set. I did.
And
I invested a lot of money in it and spent a lot of time putting it
Put it all
together.
together.
And I love it.
And
It sits proudly in my lounge room.
Yes, you do love the Titanic, and I do know you also love that piece. So well done, mate, on some real quality research, unlike the shit I come up with sometimes.
Now, that aside, Donnie, I think, it's
What do we
wheel
got?
spin. It's wheel spin time, Donnie. We know everyone loves the bit of a wheel spin.
Spin that puppy.
And, Donnie, I went through the answers with D being correct, and there was quite a few people that got it.
I hope you put them all on there for trying to stitch us up, JT. I hope you did.
I did. Everyone is on the wheel. Good. Anyone that commented is on the wheel, Donnie. The wheel looks a little bit like this. Congratulations to everyone who is on the wheel.
We are the podcast of
everyone
the
is there. We are the hot podcast. I'm going to hide that. There we go. So it's fully on the screen. I'll try and move
Judy
it in the
H
middle.
is on there.
Look at that. Here we
Cass
go.
Kelly went to school with little Cass.
There we go.
Her
Cass.
and little Swifty. Jeez, there's some good names on there. Or Bennett. I'm pretty sure he said Kim D. She's only back because she's thirsty, and that's a former Spank winner, right there.
Correct.
Smart lady, that one. Very
all right.
smart lady.
I'm going to click this button. Good luck, everyone. Here we go.
Spin that sucker. Spin it, baby.
Spinning.
Oh, shit, I've got a bit of breezy action.
Yeah, same. I reckon it's going to Janine. It has.
Me little mate, little Swifty. Gee, she'll be drunk as a skunk when it comes to her, I tell you. And commiseraries to
Kim's going to be a little bit filthy there, just over the line there. Sorry, Kim.
I tell you what, I'm not going to do is I'm not going to give Kim Janine's address. She will dead set have her whacked because she was so bloody close. Yes, rightly so. Ripped off, my friend.
Completely ripped off. So, Donnie, go for it.
I was just going to say, JT, what we love about this is the opportunity to share this. The greatest thing about an interactive podcast is, one, we reckon we're pretty close to first to the post with this. And the IT magic that you bring each week, it's pretty special. We're going to hang in there and keep going. But JT, I'm going to big shout out to the listeners and the viewers. Tell your mates, get them to come on board on a Wednesday night. I mean, here we are. I'm in Bali, you're in Cheltenham, and we're pulling it together. We will do everything we can to consistently be here for you on a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. So please tell your mates, because the more on that wheel, the happier I get seeing all the names and knowing how hard JT has to work. So that'll be great.
Yeah, speaking of bloody hard work, I've got to do a podcast tonight, Donnie, at 11 o'clock. I don't know why the hell I agreed to that, but I agreed to it
with me, JT.
I agreed to it weeks ago, and I was like, oh, shit, you're kidding me, is it tonight? So yeah, I'll be on another podcast at 11 tonight, trying to be best. I've been up since 5 this morning, so it may not go well, I'm thinking, but...
you'll be right, mate. You'll be right. Get some spank into you. You can do magic.
I think I bloody might have to go in my little suitcase upstairs, Donnie, and my magical suitcase full of spank, and have a couple. Now, Donnie, of course, you are in Bali, and we said we'd try and keep this relatively short and sweet. I don't know how we've been going tonight, but I reckon we would love what's bloody 50 minutes already.
It's only 6:51 over here, JT. We're flying. We're good. We've gone back in time.
There we go. You've saved 2 hours. So, Donnie, of course, as we do every week, we always love to leave people with a final thought, Donnie.
JT, I like it. Thanks so much for the opportunity to have final thought. JT, my final thought this week is that it's a really, really important one for people to process, and that is that your self-worth is determined only by you. No one can make you feel bad if you don't allow them. So let that sink in, because for me, so often when things go wrong, we stew over it, and somebody will tell us something, and we enable them to put us down or make us feel worthless. The truth is, we are the keepers of our self-worth.
Poignant. Very good, Donnie. Always good. Particularly when you've had, at least 5 drinks probably on this podcast alone, let alone what's gone down beforehand. I kind of really want to hook back in after my podcast and just check in with, see how you're going. But maybe not a good idea. I'm not sure.
For those of you that haven't been on the wheel and haven't had a win, the one you want is Choc Bomb,
yes.
JT.
Yes,
it's
the
like,
Choc Bomb is the winner.
You wouldn't believe I've got a shot. Here's one I prepared earlier. Well, anyway, this will be my final toast when we sign off, JT.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to start to do that little bit of a wrap-up now. So again, as Donnie said, thanks for joining us. Please tell your mates. We love doing it, but we also get a kick out of seeing bigger numbers come along to the show and get involved and enjoy it. So please share it around. Good luck to all the Anzacs. Timely, Janine. So for all the Anzacs tomorrow, for those getting up early, legends for doing it. And lest we forget all the people that put their lives on the line for amazing country that we live in today. Donnie, everyone else, you can still get comments in if you want to say we're awesome. Like, go for it. Kim, wow, that's exactly the sort of stuff we want to see about now. Keep them coming. I just saved that one up from earlier.
Here's what I typed up earlier.
I'm trying to send a message now to myself. But,
I always finish with a big giddy up on the 0 countdown. But honestly, today, my final giddy up are these words here, lest we forget.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Really enjoyed always having your company every Wednesday night. We'll see you next Wednesday. Donnie, are you back in Melbourne next Wednesday? Where are you going to be?
Adelaide next week. I'll come to, if I can get some power in Adelaide, I'll fire up the generator, JT, and we'll be coming in hot from Adelaide next week.
Legends.
Adelaide people are going to love that.
All right. Enjoy public holiday tomorrow. Thanks again to everyone watching. Lest we forget, see you next week. Cheers. Bye.